This is a demo for a simple CI/CD workflow based around GitHub. For those who don't know what CI/CD is, it stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment. At a very high level, CI/CD refers to DevOps practices where a team of developers working on the same code base, push their codes to a central repository, which in this case is GitHub. The code is synchronized across all the dev machines and the server using Git. When the code is pushed to GitHub by a developer, various actions can be taken. Like a new build of the app can be triggered, a test environment can be spun up for testing, and automated tests can run against the build. The build can be passed or failed based on those tests. And CD, continuous deployment, refers to a practice where good or passing builds are automatically deployed to different environments. Like you want a new good build to be deployed to production. But in CD, in continuous deployment, this happens without manual intervention. And the automation I'll be showing in this demo is an example of continuous deployment automation. So before I get into the code and demo the Discord bot, the simple Discord bot I have here, I just want to show you the process at a high level. So let's start from here in the bottom right corner. So you have an app which is running on a VM somewhere in the cloud. For example, in this case, let's assume it's on the Google Cloud platform. And these are your users accessing your app. And as an app developer, you want to be able to easily deploy your code all the way to your app, right? So in the most efficient manner. So the manual way of doing this would be you push your changes to GitHub and you SSH into the VM manually. You stop the service, or in our case, you kill the Python process running the Discord bot. You CD into the server directory, run a git pull to synchronize the latest changes to your server directory. And then you restart or reload services if necessary, like an Nginx reload. In our case, that would mean restarting the Python process for the Discord bot. So that's the manual way of going about it. But with automation, which is what this is all about, you can simply push your changes, like as shown in step number 1 over here. The developer's pushing his changes to GitHub, and after this, if they are pushed directly to the master branch, those changes go live immediately into your app. You don't have to SSH in, manually do a git pull, try not to make mistakes while your app is down, and minimize the downtime and all that stuff. This happens pretty much automatically, and there are safety built-ins like rollbacks, and I'll go through some of that detail later. In all of this discussion, I'm going to assume that master is the golden branch. That means what's running on your app in production, or what do you call this as live or production. The branch that's running in production is master. So master is called golden because that's the branch you consider as the best version of your code so far, and that's what's live. And usually you don't directly push to master if you're in a big team. Like Evgeny mentioned in the discussion, the usual process is that you push your code to GitHub. It goes through a code review cycle, and a push master, the guy who has control over the GitHub repository, will ensure that only he can push to master or merge into master. So the push master will actually take care of ensuring that the code is in a good state and then merge your feature branch into master, which then triggers the whole deployment process. So I'll come back to this diagram in a bit, but first I'd like to show you what the automation is. Let's see it in action. So this is what's currently running right now for my bot. My bots. This is my Discord server and my Discord channel, and I'm running a bot called Discord Test Bot. And all this bot can do right now is, if I say $hello, the bot will respond with hello. That's the only functionality it has. It's a hello world bot. It's a minimal bot. And this is the code that's running. This is the code that's running. It's again the hello world code from discord.py. So all it's checking is if the message content starts with $hello, then using async await, respond and send hello exclamation mark, right? So let's say we want to add a tiny little feature to this bot, and let's say we wanted to become wanted to respond to the message of ping. So if I say ping in the channel like this, I want the bot to respond with pong, so a ping pong responder. And I know it's a silly, trivial functionality, a small feature, but I'm going to use this as an example, just to keep things short and simple. So first, let's take a look at what. So this is my local terminal here. This is on my laptop, and now I'm going to switch to a terminal on the server, on the VM in the Google Cloud. So I'm going to cat the same file over there, and as you can see, it's exactly the same. It's just this tiny hello world bot running hello. So this is the code out here that is actually running on the server, and this is the bot corresponding to that. So let's go ahead and make that tiny code change for the small feature for the ping pong thing. So all I need to do for that is add this to our code here. So I'm just going to use Vim here, and let's open the code here. This is on my local machine on the laptop, and let's add our trivial new feature here. And oh, sorry, I have not copied the right lines. So let's get rid of this and paste in the right lines. Now, why is it not taking? All right, fine. So I'm just going to change it manually. If you see ping, then respond with pong, right? That's our new feature. And right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this code directly to master on GitHub. And hopefully this feature will go live. So first, let's see what's on GitHub. I'll open the repository. And currently GitHub is at this commit, A4F858A. Let's see what's the current commit locally. It's A4F85, the same commit that's at the top of the master branch here, is currently what's in GitHub. So now the automation that's going to kick in is, as soon as I push this new feature, right, the ping pong code, as soon as I push this to master on GitHub, we'll see that, of course, arrive here, and we'll see that commit arrive on top of the git log here in GitHub. Also, this code will then get pushed automatically from GitHub to the server here, and when I print out the contents, when I cut the file here on the server, we'll see that the code would also have the ping pong, which is currently missing. And not just that, the bot will restart and start serving the new functionality. So we'll see the ping pong working in our Discord channel automatically without having to restart the Python code or restart the bot or anything. It'll all work automatically, assuming that this all works. So let's do that. Let's create. So first, this is the diff. We're adding these two new lines. And let's commit this. Let's see the status. Let's add and write a message and commit. We're going to say update bot with ping pong functionality. Right? So this is locally committed. I haven't pushed this to GitHub yet. It's not reached here yet. But now I'm going to make the push. and I'm pushing to master. This is not the recommended workflow. The recommended workflow, uh, which is depicted here, is to push your feature branch to master and to GitHub, and never push to master directly in GitHub. But just to keep things short and sweet for now, I'm just going to, and as a proof of concept to prove that the automation is working, I'm going to demonstrate that any changes that happen to master on GitHub will redeploy the app, will update and redeploy the app. So I'm going to push to master, right? And it's done. If we see here, yes, the code has been received on the server. There are 2 new lines that were pushed, and you see this is the bot restarting again, and it's already restarted. The functionality is live. So before I check that in Discord, let's actually look at the code that actually is running the bot, and let's run the same command. Let's cat the discord.bot file, discord.bot.py file, and here are the 2 new lines that have been synchronized from GitHub to the server on the VM, and we should have the new functionality since this is what the bot in Discord is running. So let's go to Discord, and now if I say ping, hey presto, pong. So it's working. The new and the old feature, of course, still works, right? But the new ping pong functionality has been added to the bot, and it has gone live immediately. So in a nutshell, as a developer, all I need to do is push my code to GitHub, and the new code goes live immediately. I don't have to do anything manually. I write my new code, and then if I push to master, it will deploy immediately, and the changes go live, and the bot reflects that immediately. But this is not the recommended workflow, because master is the golden branch that prod is running, and if you push bad code to master, then your broken code could mean that your app is broken and all your users see your broken app and nothing works for your users, right? So you never push to master directly. The workflow is you work on something called a feature branch, and you keep pushing your changes to your feature branch in GitHub. The system has been designed so that only master will get auto-deployed to your app. For example, if I was working on a branch called ping pong and I keep pushing that to GitHub, nothing will happen to your app that is live. Nothing happens to it. And so you keep pushing changes to GitHub on your feature branch, and when you think you're ready, that you want this functionality to go live, then step 2, you create a pull request in GitHub, and you notify the push master or the maintainer of the repository, who is Evgeny in this case, and then other devs can review your code. It'll go through a peer review process, and if they point out bugs or problems in your code, you will update the code. It will get reviewed again, and then you'll update, and then it'll get reviewed again. So it goes through the code review cycle. That's step 3. Finally, when your code is deemed worthy of pushing to production, it's worthy of going live, the push master will accept your pull request, and it will get merged into master. Now, like I said, the system auto detects changes to master and makes them live automatically, like we've seen in the terminal, the demo right now. So step 4 is, as soon as there's a commit in GitHub to master branch, this triggers the post receive webhook. And what that means is GitHub will send a post request to a pre-configured endpoint. And that endpoint happens to be a deployer app on your VM. And what we saw here in this terminal, this is the deployer app that's listening for changes from GitHub. So we can see several things like the app has received a post push request, and then it updated the server code, and these were the changes that happened. It killed the old PID, the old Python process that was running the bot, and restarted the bot. So all of this is being done by the deployer here. And this is step 5, trigger the git pull, build the app, restart services, other actions. The app goes live, And as part of that, step 6, it pulls the new code from master, and it's only master that ever runs on the app. And finally, like we saw here, your users see the new functionality, the new features go live almost immediately. So this is the recommended workflow. And I can demo this and talk more around this in detail. And if you have any questions regarding any part of this, I am happy to help explain that. I can put out another YouTube video explaining some parts in more detail if you want. I'll also be adding a long README to this repo, which I'll share with everyone. It's a very basic one right now, but I'm working on this document and explain all the steps that need to be done to make this work. So hopefully this was useful. Thank you.